All right, we'll begin our meeting for today. I hope, you're all doing well and that you're all in good health. So today, our central discussion will be about performance at work, and we'll be discussing how we can be able to improve and ensure that, we are performing at top-notch level in our work. So there is something actually that most companies, will do, which is also something that's also done here at Moracle, where most companies will have appraisal forms or appraisals, and this will basically be able to just assess an employee's performance for a certain period of time. So that I think it's like a way just to make sure that you're not just coming to work, but you're actually performing, that you're actually having results, and you're actually achieving certain things. So I just want to know from you guys, and I just want us to discuss how can we just ensure that our performance is, first of all, it's good, and also that it's improving, so that if you're performing, let's say, at a certain level, when you join Moracle, that a few months or a few years down the road, that you're much better, you're being more efficient, you're doing work in a better way. Basically, your performance is increasing. So that's our discussion for today. And anyone can feel free to open our discussion for today.
Okay. Well, for me, I think based on my own point of view in improving our performance at work, I think we should always, even if you're an intern or you're already starting to work, you should always ask questions. That's the first thing. Yeah. When you ask questions, it's like you acknowledging that you have some flaws, you have some areas in your work that you are weak at. So you tend to lean on others that are quite strong in that area or have experience in that area. So that will help you to like improve and build. And secondly, also, I think attending, for instance, Moracle here, we have training sessions on Thursdays, and it helps us to understand Moracle better and all. I think training sessions are also very, very important in the workplace, because if you are only like, if you're only stuck in the same place doing repetitive work always, and not maybe going out, figuring out what others are doing or improving on what you are actually doing on a daily basis, I think you are not going to improve or grow in what you want to do. And maybe eventually as well, you will tend to hate what you're doing or be stressed out on what you're doing, because you're always doing the same thing always. But if you actually improve on it, or find a way or a manner in which you can grow on your skills, I think it will motivate you to pursue what you want to pursue as well. So that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's very, very important, to always have, sessions as a workplace or a work environment where people are trained. So that, even, sometimes you could be doing something and you think you're doing it in the best way, but you never know that there is actually a better way out there for you to be able to do something. Or, as Jessica said, it's also an avenue to ask questions if you've been maybe trying to do something and it's not been working out. So training is always very, very, very important. I feel like it's also an opportunity, for the company just to be able to get everyone to sort of have like the right or the same mindset and the same way of working. So that's definitely a good thing. Anyone else want to go ahead and share?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Noah.
Okay. So It's quite an interesting topic. I guess we have some of this discuss about it. Yeah. So for me, if you want to perform in your job, some of the things that I think they are very important for you to put in place to perform well. First of all, you need to limit your distractions within your work environment. You need to know the time that you're on work and try to distinguish a different time. Try to know when you're working, when you're having deadlines. So you need to limit distraction. You cannot be working and then at the same time you're playing with your phone, listening to music, doing things that are not important, and all of these stuff. And another thing here also again, we discuss it's about you setting deadlines. Try to set deadlines. How if you need to give out your report for a certain day, try to know that this is the time that I'll give out this report, and try all possible means to do it. So you need to set deadlines for you. Another thing here also is that you need to communicate clearly. If I cannot communicate clearly, then I will not perform my task the way my boss need it need it, because he or she will not understand what I'm trying to say here. So you cannot perform well. So task that should have been you should have done, let me say, in space of 1 hour, it will take about 2 or 3 hours for you to finish it, because you can't communicate clearly upon what you want or what you need help on. So this is very crucial also. You ask questions regularly for you to get clarification upon the things that you want. So another thing here again, you should always try to read something new every day on your work. Yeah, you read every day concern things that are pertaining to your work. You say readers are leaders. Every day, if you create a time for you to do some of your basic stuff within your work within your work, then you can be able to perform. Because if you don't know what you are coming to do, then automatically you cannot perform the task. And that's very important. You need to understand what you want to do. You can only understand what you want to do by you reading. And if you are not reading some of the things, then you will not know what to do, and there comes a lack of performance. And everyone needs to perform at work.
Yeah.
He needs to perform. So, and also we have what we call 5 P's, where it means proper planning prevents poor performance. So do things ahead, try to plan yourself, plan your work, what you want to do. These are the basis. If you can't plan properly, then you will not do your work, because proper planning prevents poor performance. If you are not planning, then you will not perform in your work. And it's very important here for you to plan your work. Plan ahead. Like how Mola always say, think ahead. It's the same like you planning ahead. If you think ahead, you're going to do something marvelous. So if you plan ahead, just know that you are ready to perform on your task. This is my own contributions towards this topic, Linda. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Noah. Yeah, it's definitely important for us to be able to plan ahead. That's something that I also personally believe in. That one of the ways that you can just be able to improve your performance, just be able to plan, for your days, for your weeks, for your months, just to be able to know what are some of those things that, you have to, that are kind of like priority on your list. Yeah. So thank you so much, Noah. I think for me also, one of the ways that like somebody can be able just to be able to be at their best performance, I would say, is a very key thing to me, would also be able to understand maybe the goals and the vision of the company that they're working at. Because I think, different companies have different visions or different goals. So I think that's one of the ways that having that vision or having that goal in mind, like we always say that we always work with one goal, and having that goal in mind, knowing what you're supposed to be doing, and also somehow really understanding your role, like what Noah was saying, that, making sure that you're able to, gain more knowledge and more information concerning your particular role. I think that's also a good thing, but also being able, to understand your role and how it fits into the company. Yeah, so knowing that, let's say, this is my part to play, and making sure that, the part that I have to play, that I played effectively. Yeah, making sure that the part that you have to play, you play that part effectively as well. Yeah, and I also think another thing is, I think you also mentioned it now, just being able to keep up to date with information. Yeah, just keeping up to date with what's happening in the world and how things are evolving in the world. Yeah, because like I mentioned earlier, that, so many times, you could be doing something and then you don't know there is a faster way to do something. And maybe that's like an area where you need to improve on in terms of knowledge, because then when you have knowledge and you can be able to apply it, and when you apply it, you can be able to work faster. Yeah, there's something that Mola always says, that, if something is taking you so long to do, then, there is something that you haven't learned or something that you don't know. Yeah, so I think just being able to keep up to date, with what's happening, especially in your field, and even in other fields, it's good to find out what's happening in other fields, but I think even in your field as well, just to be able to find out, what's happening, what are the new technologies people are using, what are some of like the industry leaders, let's say, in that field, what they're saying about certain things. So it's just important, to be knowledgeable about certain things. Yeah, I think, with information or with knowledge, once you apply, then you can be able to be more efficient, or just to be more productive in your work. Yeah. I think finally we shall hear from Mariama before we close.
Yeah, morning everyone. You
Morning,
hear
Mariama.
me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with what you guys have said. You've said it all, to be honest. Yeah, it's important that you know your role, you know what is expected from you and the company you're working for as well, because you can't, achieve something or do your best in something if you don't know what you're doing. So I definitely agree with that 100%, knowing what you're supposed to do and understanding it as well. And when you do what you're supposed to do or what is expected of you, it's important that you seek feedback as well from your colleagues or other people around you. Seek feedback on it, because I believe that you can always do better than you're doing, and seek feedback and see what other people think and would advise you as well. And if you feel like if you're able to do everything you're expected of, then that means you can push up to the next level. So don't limit yourself. If you want to challenge yourself even more, speak to, again, your managers or your colleagues and see other areas that you would like to learn more about. Like Jessica was saying, sometimes, you know, you might do the same thing over and over again. And if you can do it, you're doing it over and over again, and you can do it in a short period of time, that means it's time for you to move on to something else. And you know, give another person the opportunity to learn what you've learned and be able to get to where you are. So yeah, so that is very important. Yeah, just knowing what is expected of you and seeking feedback and just knowing that this is where you want to be as well, because sometimes you're not motivated if where you are is, if the environment you're in, you're not comfortable, you're not happy there whatsoever. So make sure you are happy as well, and you're where you want to be, you're comfortable and happy with the environment. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marima. Yeah, and I also think just to add on what you spoke about, I think it's also important to be able to enjoy like what you're doing. Yeah, because when you mentioned, you know, sometimes when you've done something over and over again, and then maybe you start to feel like, you know, it's becoming, you know, you need to get to do something else. Yeah, I think that, you know, it's just important to be able to enjoy what you're doing, because, you know, then you'll be able to kind of like, I think you'll be more productive when you enjoy what you're doing, or you'll be more efficient when you enjoy what you're doing than when you don't enjoy what you're doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
exactly.
Yeah, you're saying something, Mariama?
No, I was just saying I agree with what you said. Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for sharing. Yeah, we'll just close our meeting here for today.